Moving on. This is from, who's this from? This is from Little Tony Style. Just kidding. Andy Markison, the expat from Germany who listens every week.
Wow, that was a Shyamalan twist.
He says, hey, Damon, Justin, and mystery guests.
Hi.
Hey, it us.
Love the show. Over the past few years, sales of handheld gaming devices are in decline. The Vita is now a legacy console, and 3DS sales estimates have also had to be readjusted significantly. If the trend continues, it is conceivable that there will be no dedicated handheld consoles being supported in the next few years. So my question to you, with the boom in mobile gaming and the increasing power of smartphones, would it make sense for smartphone developers to partner with Sony, Nintendo, maybe Microsoft, to develop a controller peripheral to turn your smartphone into a Vita or 3DS-like experience? Then software could be developed for mobile that takes advantage of this increasing power and allows for a console-type experience on your smartphone.
Yeah.
So imagine Nintendo moving from making 3DS to just making an awesome controller for an iPhone.
Yeah, but then where does that put Sony, right? Or Microsoft or anybody else? We've seen third-party controller peripherals for iOS devices.
There's been some pretty decent
devices.
Yeah.
There have been some good ones. They're mostly kind of weird because they're like, they stretch out and they clamp around the outside.
Yeah.
But then half a second later, your phone needs to be used as a phone, and you look like an idiot holding a boomerang up to your head.
Yeah.
So also, there are 100 different types of mobile phones in the wild right now. You know, it's not just one or the other. There's just, people have so many different types of phones. So to find one shell that fits everything, yeah, it's tricky. It's just, I totally get it. I think it's a great idea. I personally would love to play Vita games, Game Boy games, Nintendo DS games on my phone with a dedicated gaming setup that actually has buttons and stuff like that. But there's no one uniform place to make all that work and make all that fit. So
yeah, and especially, I don't think we're going to get another Vita. I think it is a legacy system, and I think Sony's going to focus solely on VR and on PS4. That said, I think the 3DS is going to get a sales spike this fall with Pokemon Sun and Moon, and then I think whatever the NX is, all signs are pointing towards it's some sort of a weird hybrid thing.
Yeah.
So despite the rampant success of Pokemon Go and what we assume will be the success of Fire Emblem and Animal Crossing, I still think Nintendo's going to do somewhat classically traditional handheld gaming for the near future.
It does seem to be up to Nintendo to keep traditional handheld gaming going.
Yeah,
right?
they're holding the torch right now.
Right? Seems like for the first time since the Game Boy arrived that there's only one handheld out there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and it's usually theirs.
Yeah. Remember the Nomad? That was weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember the Nomad. I had the Game Gear. I had the what was the?
There's the Lynx.
Yeah, the Atari Lynx. That was a weird.
Wonder Swan.
Oh yeah,
the Turbo Express.
Yeah.
Neo Geo Pocket Color
through the wall.
Neo Geo Pocket Color is a dope, actually, little handheld. And I really like the.
Talking about the clicky stick.
Yeah.
The Tiger Gamecom, which had Duke Nukem and Resident Evil.
Did you talk about that last week?
Yeah, Jared was going on and on about the clicky stick.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
What
great
was the
though. Jared's right.
N-Gage?
N-Gage, the Taco.
I have an N-Gage on my desk.
But now there's just the Nintendo 3DS.
Yep.
Yeah.
Brian's right about handheld controllers. They're such a good idea on paper, but the part that's missing is that these phones are already designed to feel right in your hand.
Yeah.
And to clasp something onto the end of it, the buttons don't get to sit over it. They have to sit outside of it just because that's the way it has to work. Otherwise, you're obstructing the screen. And it sounds like it's a tiny trivial detail, but it's not. It messes up the feel of it. It makes it not look right, and it makes it not feel right.
It also probably can't fit in your pocket.
Yeah.
Unless you're wearing the Jinko.
Well, you also have moments where the game is designed with touchscreen elements, but also uses control inputs. So it's like you're playing an Assassin's Creed game, and it's telling you you can do this, this, and this with the buttons because it's programmed to do that. But also all the menus are on the screen, so you're doing this weird reach your thumbs across this 5-inch parameter. It
doesn't work.
odd.
It's not viable. It's not feasible. I think everyone, not just people that listen to Game Scoop or that are on this panel, but everyone on Earth is mainly using their phones and tablets for games. They just are. But that still doesn't mean that some sort of controller solution makes sense. There's too many barriers to making that work. I play so many games on my phone and tablet, but I'm playing Banner Saga, something that just works natively for touch.
Weird diagonal side question here, but how are young children playing Pokemon Go?
What do you mean?
Kids who don't have cell phones and wireless.
They're not.
Well, young children aren't.
Yeah.
Young. They also can't go out in public on their own.
It's true. But they can play around the house or down the street or at the park or something like that at school.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if there's if it's so cheap and it's such a piggybacking move. But if Nintendo was just like, our new system has Pokemon Go, and they put out a 3DS that could play games like that,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah, I can
No
see
one
that.
knows really.
No
as
one
they say.
knows.
There was
Shigeru
a.
Miyamoto.
Do you remember the DS game Treasure World?
No.
No.
There's a DS game called Treasure World that that was sort of like Pokemon Go. The DS didn't have like a cell phone signal built in or GPS built in, but it did have Wi-Fi. And in Treasure World, if you took your DS with you out in public, it would ping off Wi-Fi signals. And then when you got home and opened your DS up, you would have collected all these treasures from out in the world. And then the game itself was just like trying to complete sets of things. Like I got all 20 whatever. And
I remember this.
I think I want to do a feature on like 10 games that were doing Pokemon Go before Pokemon
That's
Go.
an awesome
or like
idea.
pulling elements of it.
It's pretty good.